Hello guys, gonna be breaking down the 5-game Saturday NBA slate for November 6th. So we got a pretty crazy one here. We do get an extra 30 minutes, locking at 4:30. There's just a lot of unknowns right now, so it's gonna be tough to give you guys a core. I'll just talk about a lot of the plays that you should be looking for rather than giving you guys the 5 players that I will have in my core. So starting off with the first game, Utah at Miami. Starts off right here, right away. Donovan Mitchell, Kyle Lowry, both questionable. Mitchell missed last game. Lowry, he picked up his ankle injury last game. So, I mean, I don't think I would play either of these dudes if they're going to be in, but it's just how important they are to the rest of the slate. Because if Mitchell is out, then we're going to Conley, Clarkson, Bogdanovich, and Ingles. We're probably going to be playing at least one, probably two. I would say at most three, though, out of those four, just because it's a tough matchup against the Heat. So, I would say if Mitchell is out, then yes, we have to look at this team. If Mitchell is in, then it definitely doesn't. I. It's possible they can probably just fade this side of the ball. Royce O'Neal 3,800. I think a lot of people might play him for value. I don't think he's bad, but also I don't want to play him when he's one of those type of players. Like he's a bit more productive than PJ Tucker, but he's just kind of that uh, fantasy type of player where if he gets a ton of minutes, he might not really do a whole lot. Like last game, he got 6 assists. That's just not what is going to happen. So I'm not gonna chase this. Like if I mean, there's better value, so that's why I don't really think that you really need him. Like anyway, I'll get to the value later. Miami side, if Lowry is out, then we're gonna have more interest in Butler, Bam, and Hero. I think a very important piece actually to if Lowry is out is Duncan Robinson because he's gonna close the game then. And people are gonna overlook that Duncan Robinson at 4,100, even though it is a tough matchup against the Jazz. He's gonna put up shots, and if he's able to play a lot more minutes than he usually is because he doesn't close when Lowry is active, so he's going to be shooting a lot of threes at 4,100. He really doesn't need to do a whole lot. So it's hard for him to hurt your lineup, and there's definitely some potential here at that price tag. Now, at Bam, 8,200, I think he's okay either way. Obviously, better with Lowry if Lowry is out, but he's actually had some really good games against Rudy Gobert. So I'm not really afraid of that. I know I'd rather maybe spend up because there are going to be some studs playing without another star teammate. Now the second game, Philly at Chicago. So this is probably the chalkiest team in Philly here. Matisse Thybulle is also going to be out. Korkmaz and Danny Green are questionable. If both these guys are out, they're going to only have 8 players. That's going to be Embiid, Drummond, Curry, Maxey, and Yang, Milton, Paul Reed, and then Charles Bassey. So Bassey he didn't even play last game because he is a center. So they only ran Embiid and Drummond there. Maybe they're gonna have to play two centers together if they really are down without Thibault too here. But I don't think that's something that they really want to do because the Bulls they do play uh, they go they go small at the 4, so they'll play DeRozan there. So it's much better of a matchup if they just play Niang there. Now, yeah, you're gonna want to play if you're playing a Bull, you definitely want to play someone in Philly because Maxey he played 45 minutes. Milton he's not on minutes restriction anymore. He's also able to play minutes alongside Maxey, so that's helping both of their cases a lot. And Milton, he's just really cheap here. And same thing with Niang. I really do think Paul Reed is a sneaky option because he probably doesn't start, but because they don't have anyone, Paul Reed's not going to really be that high owned because he's off the bench. And he's the minimum. He has powerful eligibility. If this game blows out, which it definitely could if Embiid is being stopped, and the Bulls do have a better defense this year. So Paul Reed is a very sneaky option, and I don't think he's going to be that high owned. So Paul Reed is someone that I'm going to definitely have a lot over the field. Now the Bulls side of the ball, it's tough to get to anyone here. Uh, like Caruso 3,900, I think that's a pretty good price tag, but there's just a lot of good value plays right now. Like either that's going down to 3K, possibly with Paul Reed, or you go up a little bit with the Utah value. So not really anything sticking out here. Now Boston and Dallas, so there's no Jaylen Brown here. Josh Richardson questionable. Langford got a pretty big boost with Jay Rich out, but if Jay Rich is in, I would just rather stick with obviously Tatum at the top. or for just too expensive for me with Robert Williams active. But I like Schroeder and Smart a whole lot. I think Smart is the tournament option here. 5,300. Him and Tatum have been really bad to start the year. Tatum, though, it's Tatum, so he's gonna be high owned with Jaylen Brown out. But I think Smart's very sneaky. Like we've seen him have like 40 plus point DK games, and he's just shot poorly. His peripherals actually have been down too, so it's kind of weird seeing this. And he should be able to play big minutes. They've been in some blowouts, and also they're gonna need Marcus Smart's defense out there to guard Luka. So I think he could be looking for a pretty big playing time increase here. So I like Smart a whole lot. Now Dallas Porzingis is expected to be back here, even though he is questionable. So I actually like that because Luka Doncic isn't really affected when Porzingis plays or not. So I like Luka because just people generally will think that Porzingis is going to hurt Luka, but that's actually hasn't been the case. So that's going to make Luka lower owned without Jaylen Brown. Defensively, they're a bit they're weaker, so they still have Smart, Tatum, but Luka 10.7K might be a little bit lower owned because we do have other studs to pay out for. And with Porzingis back, I'm just not really going to be looking to anyone else here. Now Atlanta at Phoenix. Atlanta was really bad last game against Utah, even without Mitchell. Now, Clint Capella, he's been playing big minutes, and I would expect him to play big minutes here again because they do want to match up. It looks like they want to match up against the opposing center. So DeAndre Ayton, same thing with the last game in Utah, Gobert, that they want to match the minutes. So I like Capella. He usually can get a double-double pretty easily. So he's got a pretty solid floor. He's able to get the minutes as a center, and it doesn't really concern me here because last game, Royce O'Neal is the four for Utah, and they play John Collins. No problem there. So I don't think that they're going to go small and play Collins at the five against Aiden. So I like Capella here. And then the Phoenix, they are a good defensive team. So I don't really want to go with Trae Young with Chris Paul on the other side. These guys, like, they have so many of these wings: Bogdanovich, Reddish, Hunter, Herter, Gallo. So it's really tough to get there to any one of them, and it's a tough matchup. Now for Phoenix, DeAndre Ayton looks like to be one of the better options today. 6,500, he would have played probably about 32 minutes, but he was in foul trouble and he fouled out. So he probably would have, or he definitely would have absolutely obliterated this price tag. So he's too cheap here. Paul and Booker, they're fine, especially if Cameron Payne is going to be out again. And I think Jay Crowder is another one of those guys, kind of like Marcus Smart, just a little bit dependent on if the three ball is falling for him, but he does contribute with the rebounds and some defensive stats. On to the last game with the Lakers and the Blazers. So LeBron's already out, AD questionable. If he's out, then you're looking at Russell Westbrook probably being the highest owned player on the slate. Carmelo Anthony at 5,800. It feels weird paying this much at this stage of his career, but he's been playing excellent. So I don't have a problem with that if you want to do it. Now with the value, if AD is out, then we're playing Dwight Howard, probably DeAndre Jordan. Jordan's going to start then. He has been. But Dwight's going to be that sneaky guy because maybe Jordan still continues to just play one stint each half. Now, these value guys, so Avery Bradley, Malik Monk, Rondo, Austin Reeves. I am a Laker fan, so I've watched this team. I know how the rotations usually are. Frank Vogel is, if AD is out, we might see some weird stuff, but I would expect him to probably start Melo, and you're gonna get Bazemore, of course, and then Westbrook. But I think with how the Lakers close, they could close with Reeves or Avery Bradley. And if you look at the closing lineup, I would expect Howard to be out there if AD is out. Again, this is with if AD is out to match up with Nurkic. And so you got Dwight take one spot. Obviously, you're gonna have Westbrook. Melo should close. So then you got two spots left. It's gonna be Bazemore, probably Bazemore, Bradley, Monk. I don't think it's Rondo because just the spacing issue if they do have Dwight and Russell Westbrook already out there. But Reeves and Bradley look like to be two of Frank Vogel's favorites, but they are shot dependent. They could literally just do nothing out there other than score. So it's a little risky here, but they are close to the minimum. Reeves is, but yeah, I think people will look there. Monk, especially 3,100, he's been the guy that we've gone to. So there could be someone good here. I would expect that if AD is out, we definitely do get something good here in 3Ks from Lakers. Now the Blazers side, so they're on a back-to-back, and Damian Lillard is. I'm just gonna continue blaming or burning money playing Lillard at low ownership and him just not being able to shoot the ball. He again was awful. He shot 2 of 13, 0 for 6. Just don't know what is up with this guy. 4 points. Somehow they won the game. Again, I am a Laker fan, so I've watched Lillard absolutely crush the Lakers multiple times. So I know that this guy is just an absolute killer, even though he hasn't shown it so far this season. I'm not concerned with the minutes. Last time at back to back, he was able to play 36. So it's just a matter of if he's able to knock down his shots. His peripherals have been actually really good, and even though he's shot poorly, his assists have been really great. So that's definitely nice to see. It's also a back-to-back without travel, so that helps Lillard's case. His price is a bit down, so I'll have Lillard continue to have him for tournaments. And then Norman Powell probably going to be pretty chalky 4,800. Replay Covington, he's fine. Simons has been really good. Nance, if you're really looking for a cheap value on this team. So I would say that right now, just you're going to be playing Philly because we already know they're probably going to be at most have 10 guys available. So look there. Obviously, if Korkmaz and Green are going to be in, it's going to hurt a little bit more. But Utah then, if Mitchell is out, so Westbrook, Tatum would be my priorities. I'm just a little bit concerned about Embiid, but if you're playing the Bulls, you probably do want to play Embiid just to run it back because if Embiid's having a good game, they should be in this one, and the Bulls are going to play their usual minutes. But yeah, just tough slate to break down right now. There's a lot of injuries I have to monitor, so make sure you guys do stay up to date with this. We do get an extra 30 minutes today. I will be writing my article once again, free at DFS Army, so go ahead and check that out. And then I'll also post the link to the article down below in the comment section. So please do check it out if you want to see my updated core. That's all going to be on DFS Army. You're going to have to sign up. It's going to have to be through a membership, but I do have a coupon code, 10% off any membership there. So that code will be my name, Will, W-I-L-L. That'll also be in the description below in the video. So thank you guys for watching. I'm always going to be available on Twitter, especially on the weekend. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out and I'll try to help you out. So good luck on this slate, and I'll see you next video.